And, Coach, we find ourselves due east from our nation's capital at FedEx Field in Landover, Maryland. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Seattle Seahawks and the Washington Redskins. The final playoff push is upon us. It's week 12 of the NFL season, and we're underway on EA Sports. It's a short kick, taking it to 15. And they're going to start this drive in pretty good shape as they get it up past the 30. From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10.
I'm coming for you, son.
And he's corralled at the 40, but not before picking up 8.
They've got good playmakers on the offensive side of the ball. I don't know what happened last week to really hurt their performance and hold down their production, but I would dare say that this week in practice, there's a lot of talk about how they're going to increase their proficiency.
And that was a good start getting the playmakers involved. You mentioned that to me pregame. That's what they did there.
Yeah, I think a lot of people think the coaching staff really gets on them, and that's how they motivate them. Most of these guys are self-motivated. They have a lot of pride in their performance.
An early test, 2 plays in. This is 3rd and 2.
Here we go, team.
They'll try and get it with Geis. And he will have the first down, but he winds up paying for it pretty good. Give him 3 yards and a fresh set of downs. Defense had a chance to get off the field here on the opening drive, couldn't do it.
I know that we go into these meetings with coaches, and sometimes maybe we can get, a little bit numb because they're always going to talk about how important 3rd down is, aren't they? Offense and defense. In this case, one capitalized, and the other, as you said, had a chance to get off the field and didn't get it done.
Now a quick throw as that's complete on the hitch route. It'll go as a pickup of 14 and a Washington first down.
Well, if you do read man coverage, Brandon, the drag route's a pretty good one to run against it because you're running away from people on it.
So the 14 yards actually takes him from 143 to the other for 1st and 10. On 1st down, it's Haskins. Looking for McLaurin, and he's got him. And now a fumble. The ball's out, but this will fortunately wind up out of bounds.
I don't know about you, but I could hear and feel the sigh of relief all the way up here in our booth.
That was palpable. The sideline, the friend there.
No doubt about it. Ball goes over the sideline, able to retain possession, no turnover. I know his coaches are screaming, just hang on to the ball, man.
This is Geis, about 3 yards there to the 27.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
Mike 50, Mike 50.
From the 27, Haskins. He's got it complete to Thompson. And they'll bring him down at the 18-yard line. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a first down.
First drive of the game. We did see this in practice, didn't we? Because they allowed us to stay and watch and see what the opening script would be, even though we don't know the exact play calls. That looks a lot like what we saw them execute, doesn't it?
It really does. And in practice, it wasn't about a lot of big shots on the opening drive. They wanted to put together a series of plays, sustain it. They've done that. The defense now on their heels a little.
That they are. And you know what else is happening now? They're gaining information. They're gaining knowledge about how the defense is planning on playing them. So not only are they being successful on this drive, they're filing things away for future drives in this game.
They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And he's able to get it down to the 2-yard line. And give him 5 that time as they draw a bit closer here for a 2nd and goal.
Well, I think that's what they're going to need to do here in the first half. You've got to take some pressure off of this young quarterback. And no better way to do it than to establish the running game early.
From the 2 now, 2nd and goal. On the ground, Geis. And they will stop him after a fairly minimal pickup. Calling a gain of 2 as they're knocking on the door now. 3rd and goal. Driven it down the field nicely here on the opening drive, but now it's put up or shut up.
No doubt about it, because to make that type of a drive and ultimately kick a field goal would feel very disappointing. But I'm just wondering, is the head coach thinking, is this 4-down territory? Might he go for it?
On 3rd and goal, Haskins feeling the pressure here and taken down. A sack back at the 7.
That's quite a stand there defensively. A huge sack on 3rd down, and that's going to force him into a field goal attempt.
A 24-yard attempt.
Hopkins' kick is good. Well, after marching down the field, only getting 3 there, kind of feels like a win for the defense.
And it does. They'll go to the sideline feeling a lot better that they didn't give up a touchdown after the march against them. But if I were the offense, I wouldn't hang my head over that one. That's a good drive, and 3 points were put on the board.
Let's go. Do it. At their own 25-yard line.
Wilson and the Seahawks take over now, 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line. Now Wilson. And this will be incomplete. Physical play on the football there, and it's 2nd down.
The positioning here is key. As a defensive back, you're taught 99% of the time, make a play on the football. But in this case, making a play on the man was all the difference. That's what forced the incompletion.
An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. Now Wilson to throw again. And the catch is made here by Tyler Lockett. And he gets this one just shy of the 40. They'll mark him down at the 39. That one good for 14 and a Seahawk first. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. This is the Oklahoma State alum, Chris Carson. And he'll be brought down. Oh, that's a face mask. Certainly looked like it. Indeed, here come the flags. Well, we looked at each other right away. We knew that flag was coming out.
And I always enjoy the conversation post, because officials always tell you, I don't want to throw the flag, but you caused the play. You did it. I had to.
And now it's 1st and 10. A big mistake, especially when you factor in the personal foul yardage. They'll toss it out to Carson. And they go backwards here, losing yardage back at the 48-yard line. Play 3 of the drive not as successful. They go backwards after those 2 first down gains. Throwing on 2nd and 14. Wilson under a heavy rush, and down he goes. Montez Sweat. The blitz works to perfection as he gets in there to dump him for a loss of 8. Wilson and the Seahawks looking for something big following the sack. It's 3rd and long here. Now it's Wilson. Rolling to his right. He's going to run, but he's got to look. But I think the ball's out, and the Redskins scoop it. And his guys are going to take over at their own 48-yard line.
Let's be frank, you hate the fumble at the end of the play, but prior to that, I liked a lot of what was going on. Tucks it down, takes off, picks up good yardage. But in that portion of the field, that close to the sideline,
step out.
Yeah, either get down or get out of bounds. Take care of the ball.
Yeah, he had the yards, but then the mistake. A good starting spot for the Redskins as they come up 1st and 10, just shy of midfield at the 48. Looking to throw, Haskins. That's complete to his receiver, McLaurin. Touchdown, Washington. Terry McLaurin, his second touchdown on the season. And the Redskins get the quick strike touchdown. As a former DB, you might not like to see that, but from a wide receiver's perspective, those are the plays they dream of.
Correct on both counts, all right? Because once he took off, I mean, let's face it, that should have been done in Big Sky Country. Aren't any speed limits out there? And off he went. Glad I wasn't the one trying to chase him.
Let's go. Let's go.
Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. And last time, not only the turnover, but that turned into 6 points. They got to make up for that here.
We always hear about empty possessions. Some are worse than others. You can have an empty possession, pump the ball away, get yourself second play defense. But when you turn it over, it changes momentum. And when they take it downfield and punch it in on you, that's a bad possession all the way around.
Yeah, but you're hungry to get back out there, aren't you?
You better be, because otherwise it's going to be a long day for you.
10-0 the score after 1 on EA Sports. Maybe a good spot to take a shot. Here's 2nd and a yard from the 34. Now Wilson rolling to his left. This complete to Lockett. That one covers 29 yards. First down.
On any given pass play, you never know exactly where your exit points are going to be. On this play, he was flushed to his left, still on the run, able to accurately throw the football for a nice first down.
In Washington territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 37-yard line. Wilson now off the bootleg. Rush coming, and he's taken down. Ryan Kerrigan in there for sack number 127 in his great career, moving it past Kansas City Hall of Famer Derek Thomas on the all-time list. After the sack, it's 2nd and 19, and the road gets a bit tougher from here. Here's Wilson to throw. Under pressure again, and down he goes again. Jonathan Allen able to record his 5th sack of the season.
I'm starting to feel for that quarterback back there. I mean, you know me. Normally, don't have a lot of empathy for the QB, right? In this case, definitely he's been under constant duress this entire game. I don't know how he's surviving back there.
And to think, there's still a long way to go in this football game.
19.
3rd and long, it's Wilson. And the pressure gets to him again. Ryan Kerrigan in there to get him sack number 14 for him on the year.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
That'll go as a punt of 32 yards. And it'll be Redskins football now with a 1st and 10. Out there ready for this next drive, the Redskins offense. And following that long touchdown pass, a one-play drive last time, see if the defense, you know they're ready. They don't want that to happen again.
And you would have thought they would have been ready the last time. That's what you work on all the time. Make sure that no one gets behind you. That's the cardinal sin of defense, not giving up the long pass. They did. Let's see how they adjust.
The tackle made by K.J. Wright.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice, solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
Geis with the carry on second down. And he's dropped just before the line to gain. 4-yard pickup leaves him with 3rd and 1. I think you mentioned in the opening drive that these guys needed to establish the run, protect the young QB. Actually broke that down, believe it or not. So how would you assess things so far?
I'm kind of touched that you actually wrote something like that down. I appreciate that, partner. But I do think they've been able to do that. Maybe not as effectively as they wanted to, but I think we'll see more of as this game goes along because they want to continue to take care of that young QB.
So much for the run on 3rd and 1. Instead, it's a big chunk in the pass game. 1st down.
Did you see that route the way that I did? I thought he was trying to get deep.
Yeah, that wasn't the first option.
No, it came off of that guy, the deep guy, and came underneath on the drag. Completed it very well.
Haskins and the offense with a 1st and 10. And he's a perfect 5 for 5 here to begin the game. They'll run with Thompson. And taking it to the 15-yard line before he's brought down. And now time will be called here as we've got an injured Redskin down on the field. While the training staff takes a peek, we'll take a break. On 1st down, this is Geis. And he'll be brought down this time at the 5-yard line. A gain of 10 as they look to add on to this 10-point lead. A lot to praise on this drive, obviously. I know you're seeing what I'm seeing. Those guys up front, they're getting it done.
Doesn't matter what play is called. They are handling their business at the line of scrimmage and dominating right now on this drive.
They come out here in the eye.
Drop deep, drop deep. Hey, check 24.
Geis. And he'll take this into the end zone. Touchdown, Washington. Darius Geis with touchdown number 12 on the year. And the Redskins are able to stretch the lead out further. Solid job up front. Really just a solid job all the way around to get that one in.
That was well executed, wasn't it? Well blocked, well run. End result, 6 points.
Touchdown. Hopkins with the extra point, and that makes our score 17-0. That'll be taken in the end zone.
Let's go, baby. Let's go.
The Seahawks take over 1st and 10 at their own 23-yard line.
Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. And we don't want to call this desperation time, especially in the second quarter, but you're down.
You don't want to.
No, but let me finish.
Okay, my bad.
You're down 3 scores already. You've got nothing offensively, nothing on the scoreboard. That's not a good combination.
I think you just called it desperation time. I think you did. But let's face it, you mentioned this to me on a break earlier in the game. The energy level hasn't been there right from the start. We've noticed that. They've got to find a way to get on their toes and start punching instead of retreating, to use a boxing analogy.
Once again, they'll go from the 23-yard line on 2nd and 10.
12. 56, the mock boy, 56. Check 56.
Wilson going to throw again. Blitz coming, and down he goes. Ryan Kerrigan, what a season he continues to have. His 15th sack of the campaign.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
Wilson of the Seahawks looking for something big following the sack. It's 3rd and long here. Wilson. Oh, the pressure too great, and he goes down once more.
I'm starting to wonder if this offensive line just simply doesn't like him. I mean, they've given up 6 sacks in this game. He's had nowhere to go, nowhere to run, and obviously nowhere to hide.
And all those sacks in the first half, this is just complete domination. Good blocking there, nearly sprung him. As it is, it'll go as a 19-yard return. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. The Washington offense at the line and ready to roll. They have to be pleased with the way that they moved the football thus far.
And why wouldn't they be? 2 touchdowns on a field goal in their first 3 possessions. They're playing so well right now, the field goal probably feels like a disappointment.
And now a throw on first down there, but it's incomplete.
Let's go.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10.
Let's go, tight end. Let's go right here now.
Following the penalty, it's Geis. And he won't get much. Maybe a couple. Down inside the 35 to the 34.
Well, we saw him there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside later.
On the ground, it's Geis. Good work to pick up 7 yards there. That gets him into a 3rd and 1 situation. 2 minutes remaining in this first half of football. A reminder, once we hit halftime, as we do all season, we'll send it down to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. He'll have all the stats and scores from games in progress around the NFL.
The best multitasker in the business, the coach.
Now Haskins to throw it. And he's got his tight end, that's Smith. And he takes it in. Touchdown, Washington. As his guys are in for 6. And the Redskins are able to stretch the lead out further. A nice throw there by the second-year quarterback.
And I don't believe that was the kind of play he would have made as a rookie, because usually your rookie season is a continuation of your college days. A lot of one read, and if you don't have it, you just take off and go. Now he's settled in the pocket a little bit more, reading the field and getting to his second and sometimes third progression. That was a nice play.
The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. That's fielded in the end zone. And in hindsight, probably should have stayed where he was, as he'll only get back to the 16-yard line. Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. And some dangerous territory. You're already down 3 scores. A 3-and-out here, or an inability to put any points up. This one might be over by half.
Yeah, and what you also have to guard against is calling every play for a big shot downfield. You know, thinking you're going to get all these points back on one drive. You're not. And last time I looked, it's still the first half. I'm not saying you have ultimate patience here, but you also don't have to go ahead and force everything either.
After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11. To throw is Wilson. Now the pressure comes and he goes down. Just inside the 10, back at the 9. Jonathan Allen in there to get him, and that is sack number 6 now for him on the year. After the sack, they'll come up now 3rd and long.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised to see them run the ball here just to try and get some space.
No run call here. They'll look to throw instead. And that's knocked away and incomplete. And give credit to Reuben Foster, the linebacker, getting a hand in to disrupt.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on third down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. Third down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
He takes a touchdown-saving tackle to bring him down as he goes 32 yards on the return. And the Redskins will have a short field here as they take over 1st and 10. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10.
Hey, that's the way. 54's Mike. 54's Mike. Check, check. Watch 54. Watch 54.
On 1st and 10, it's Haskins. He'll get this to his speedster, Paul Richardson. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. Give the Redskins 13 there on a 1st down. They go play action now. Haskins. That's going to be caught. And he doesn't quite make it, taking it within an eyelash. Dropped at the 1. So with 4 seconds to go in the half, here's the field goal unit onto the field. From the right hash at a bit of a tight angle. And Hopkins' kick is good. And the lead increases even further. It's 27-0 now. So a capper there to a pretty good first half.
And I love the way that they put a chokehold on the clock and pretty much drained everything before they put the field goal on the board as they headed into the half.
Fielded about a yard deep. So we've come to halftime after a very one-sided beginning to this one. As we'll get you down the coast to Orlando for Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach, both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. That'll be taken in the end zone. And this return net's positive as he gets past the 25 and up to the 27-yard line.
The Seahawks take over 1st and 10 at their own 27-yard line.
Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. And that first half, one to forget really on both sides of the ball. They got to find some way to string something together here, don't they?
Yeah, they're down big right now. So as you mentioned, trying to find something to string together, get some consistency, something sustained, maybe calm their whole team down and find a way to get back in this one.
Yeah, because right now you're down big, you're being shut out. Let's see if this is the drive that kind of kickstarts them. And he'll be brought down shy of the 40 at the 38-yard line. That one, a first down pickup of 8.
I think they like this drive a little bit better there, partner. Running game helping out, picking up some of the slack. Because remember, the last drive, they went 3 and out.
Strong right. Strong right. Strong right.
They'll run on first down. Carson. Now Carson fumbles the football. And the Redskins scoop it. And the return here will go to the 31-yard line.
The psychology of the game never ceases to amaze me because you would think there would never be a fumble from what we hear from coaches all the time, right?
And how much they practice not fumbling.
Practice it, preach it, talk about it all the time. You would think no one would ever turn it over. Yet they are humans out there running around, and we just saw another one.
Opportunistic by the defense. Making the stop that time, Bobby Wagner.
4 yards on the pickup. 2nd and 6 at the 27-yard line.
Here's Love again. And he'll be brought down inside the 20 at the 19. That one, a first down pickup of 8.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them.
Let's go. Let's get this ball back for the offense. Let's go. Watch the safety creep.
Off the play fake. Here's Haskins. And it's caught. 18 yards there, and it'll be a first and goal.
There are so many things to watch for when you play defense. and reading your keys. You always hear about that, and having your eyes in the right place. Sometimes your eyes can fool you. How about that play action there? And it sprang the big guy, didn't it?
Able to dump it over the top to him. They come out here in the eye. Geis, they'll try to run it. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Redskins. Darius Geis with his 13th touchdown of the year and second of the game as his guys continue to pour it on. Extra point good by Hopkins, and that will extend this big lead.
Redskins 34, Seahawks nothing.
Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. That's fielded in the end zone. And he will be brought down here at about the 17-yard line.
Seahawks take over first and 10 at their own 17-yard line.
Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. And they had the fumble last time that led to a touchdown. That's a no-no. We'll see what they do here this go around.
A big no-no. Put that in capital letters. Turning it over, the other team takes it down and scores. That could be a deflator for a football team. Now it's up to the offense to get back out on the field and pick things up.
Now, they're out there. We'll see if they can pick those things back up. 6 yards was the pickup on the last completion, so here's 2nd and 4.
No pass, no pass.
Throwing is Wilson. Looking for Lockett, and it's intercepted. Reuben Foster picks it, and the return will stop right around the 25.
Oh, timing is everything on a route like this. He tried to drive that football into a tight spot. And if you're a little early or a little late, chances are there's going to be someone there. And sure enough, this one's going the other way.
Come on, QB, come on. 49, check 49, check.
Now after the turnover, here's Haskins. He's got the first down inside the 10. And finally wrestled down at the 8-yard line. Now they'll have it 1st and goal following that gain of 17. Right after the turnover, they come out throwing.
And that means it's a sudden change situation. We used to practice it on defense. Sudden change, get out there, stop the offense. But you typically run out there a little bit unsettled. I think that's why he came right out throwing the football, hoping to catch him off balance.
And he did.
Hey, we heavy on the edges, heavy on the edges.
And they'll be driven back here, losing yardage to the 10-yard line. That sends them 2 yards in the wrong direction and leads to 2nd down.
2nd and goal at the 10-yard line.
Moved back to the 10. They'll try on 2nd and goal here. Now a handoff. Geis going right. And he'll be brought down here at the 3-yard line. 7 big yards on the carry there to get him within range of the goal line with 3rd down upcoming.
7 yards. It's now 3rd and goal.
Ready? Here we go, D. Here I come again. Here I come again. Here I come again.
They run with Geis. No gain on the play that time, so a big stop, and it's going to leave them with a 4th and goal. Defense didn't budge on 3rd down. Now what are we going to see on 4th?
We are soon to find out, but does this feel like old school football or what,
Oh,
right?
yeah.
This is an old-fashioned goal line stand. I know what I would call on offense. I would go for it. And I want some type of a play where my quarterback has a chance to run it or throw it. I don't just want one static play.
So 3 field goals that he's hit now. This last one helps him stretch out the lead.
He's been solid, hasn't he? And he lives up to the adage that every offensive coach has ever said to us. We want to end every possession with a kick, right? For them, it's either extra point, field goal, or at worst, a punt. In this case, it's been threes.
At their own 30-yard line.
Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. They have been struggling. I would imagine at halftime they went through some possible changes. Well, those changes aren't working. And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. Montez Sweat able to record his 5th sack of the season. And hear the pressure from the outside linebacking spot.
And normally when that happens and they're able to get home, that means the other guys on his team helped him out a lot. That they occupied people to allow it to be no less than a one-on-one situation, allows him to get home.
Another try after the first down sack. Wilson, and that's caught inside the 35. A big play that time for the Seahawks. 48 yards.
And the Seahawks first down.
36 power. 51 to Mike. 51 to Mike.
Well, throw on first down with Wilson. And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's second down. We have not seen a whole lot of wide open receivers. Everything seemingly has been contested.
And that's another nice job there to force an incompletion. They've been very cohesive, knowing each other's moves all game long, and they've been on the spot just about every time.
And they've held them in check on the scoreboard. Ball on the 30 as they come up, 2nd and 10.
There you go. One left. 56. Mike, 56, right there. Right there. Set the tone, defense.
Throwing again. Wilson under a heavy rush, and down he goes. Ryan Kerrigan, he continues to wreak havoc in the offensive backfield. Sack number 16 on the year. Throwing on 3rd and long. Wilson, that's complete into the hands of Carson. Just a 1-yard pickup on the play, and it'll be 4th down.
That's certainly playing down and distance very well by the defense, isn't it? Take whatever you want underneath, by all means.
On comes the Seahawk kicker here on 4th down. It's Jason Myers. From the right hash, this from 53. And this is off target to the left. Didn't get there anyway. It's no good. And this score will stay right where it is.
NFL kickers nowadays, they make things look so easy because normally from this range, about 2 out of 3. And this is not an easy kick.
Yeah, 20 years ago, you get where he was in that 50 range, maybe a little over. And it's a big kick, but now we just, if they leave it short, you're like, whoa, what happened? And that's what we have here.
Yeah, you're right. 20 years ago, we were saying run some more plays and get closer. Now we think they're definitely within range, and you're exactly right. When it comes up short, there has to be something that went wrong because they have plenty of leg.
Try to get one more in here before the quarter breaks. Back now at FedEx Field. And this is a blowout so far as we get set for the 4th quarter. A very one-sided affair. On 2nd and 11 now. Haskins. He's got Smith here. And they're well past midfield, just a yard or 2 shy of the 40. Catch number 40 for him on the year. It's a first down.
That looked like a pretty good route combination there because you've got to find a way to clear the guy running the drag. Because when you do, you just put the ball on him and then let him run.
Yeah, he's got some space. Here's Geis. They'll wind up getting 4 down to the 36.
Bottom line, they want to keep this clock rolling, so they'll take that one right there. They just want to keep falling forward, and they want to put the onus on the big fellas up front in order to bring this one home.
At the 36-yard line.
Following the pickup of 4, here's 2nd and 6.
Keep it up, defense. Keep it up, guys.
On 2nd down, Love. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. 12 yards is the pickup, and it's good for a Washington first down.
A big hole there. How about him handling the point of attack? Just positioning himself so that run could go right off of his backside and deep into the secondary.
It's just me and you.
Play action. Haskins. And he gets it inside the 10 to the 9. 15 more there, and they're on a roll. It's another first down. They have the nice cushion. They just want to pour it on right now, still throwing the football.
And I know my background says, why do you need to do this? Just go ahead and run out the clock and get a win. But as many people have pointed out to me, it's a video game, man. Go ahead and put the numbers up. Sportsmanship, not an issue.
Exercise those fingers. And he's going to be hemmed in and brought down right at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play that time, and it sets up second and goal.
No gain on the play. Leads to second and goal at the 9-yard line.
Another shot from the 9 on second and goal.
22, jet cover. 22, jet.
Here's Love. And he takes it in. Touchdown, Washington. Bryce Love, his 4th touchdown on the year, as his guys continue to put this one out of reach. So another score there, and often you talk about the 3 phases of the game: defense, offense, special teams. It's been a clean sweep in this one, hasn't it?
It certainly has. They've been pretty dominant throughout this game. And privately, the head coach will add a 4th phase. That's the coaching. And he'll tell the ownership that as he tries to negotiate a new contract off of this win.
They are looking strong here in the 4th quarter. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get it up to the 29-yard line.
The Seahawks take over first and 10 at their own 29-yard line.
Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. And let's face it, this drive is not going to have any bearing on this game, but it's kind of important for one reason, isn't it?
It certainly is. You got to get points. And, okay, all right, I'm being facetious here. But you get points, you feel a little bit better about yourself as you move on to the next one.
Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete. Another incompletion. You know, it's a wonder he's still moving around back there the number of times he's been sacked.
Yeah, he's staying out there, isn't he? And you don't think about it much in a game like this, but he's showing incredible leadership. Still competing, still fighting, not taking himself out of a ball game that appears lost.
Here's second and 10 now from the 29.
No chance. Quick. Hey, Mike 20, Mike 20. Hey, let's go double count right here, double count.
Here's Wilson throwing again. Flush to his right. And that one got tipped. Kind of threw everything off. It brings up third. Well, the trials and tribulations of being a quarterback in this league, it's tough. It's got to be wearing on him out there.
Well, he has been sacked a number of times. He had an interception, so I'm going to give him a skosh of credit for hanging in there and trying to make something happen, despite the amount of pressure he's been under this entire game.
The Seahawks on third down. A pretty woeful 0 for 5 thus far. This is 3rd and 10.
Check 13. Look pass.
Out of the gun. Here's Wilson. He's airing it out for Sanu. That's incomplete, but there is a flag down. So hang on. A big call coming on 3rd down. Some boos coming down right now from this home crowd after that call.
Yeah, and that was because of the pass interference call. But for a second there, I thought maybe they'd gotten a look at my appearance as Othello in the high school play.
You were Othello?
Not a good one, let me tell you.
Now this one over the middle into the hands of his tight end, complete. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. A good pickup there, 26 yards.
Hey, 380. Hey, pick it up, defense. Let's go. There. Mike 20.
Throwing again here, Wilson. And now another turnover as this one's intercepted. It's Quentin Dunbar with a pick. And he'll wind up losing 5 yards or so on the return, but no matter, they've got the football back. Oh, and I saw the pressure coming at him. That just looked problematic. Hit him as he threw it, and the interception ensued.
Let me pay homage to the man who stood in this spot before. He always talked about how much pressure is in the face of a guy, and can he step into a throw. And when you can't do that, oftentimes interceptions result.
Out there ready for this next drive, the Redskins offense. And this game comfortably in hand. The scoreboard speaks for itself, but you still got your starting quarterback out there. When do you go to the backup? Let him get some time.
And that's one of the great questions in the NFL, Brandon, because I'm just going to tell you, in the 2015 season, I commentated on 3 games in a row that were blowouts. And in none of them did the starting quarterback ever come out of the game for the team that had a big lead. And in each instance, I asked the coaches later on, why didn't you do that? And they all looked at me and said, just don't really do that in the NFL. You know, these guys play, and we just play them all the way through. Now, in certain situations, they will take them out, but for the most part, they're not as worried and concerned about getting them out of the game. And that's always puzzled me a little bit.
And he's able to get this one all the way past the 30. A gain of right around 30 on a play that began way back inside the 5. They don't need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. Let's see if they do it anyway. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the fourth quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So it's Redskin football here as we welcome you back. And they have just about put this one on ice as they've got it here, 1st and 10.
Switch it.
They'll run with Geis. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3.
Well, partner, I know this type of running back. I mean, this size, this intensity usually gets better as the game goes on. I can just tell you from experience, the first few quarters, oh, you're eager. You come running up there, I'm going to tackle this guy. By the fourth quarter, you're coming up and thinking about it.
And D-line wearing down fourth quarter. Yeah, that's not a guy they want to see consistently. It'll go as a pickup of 14 and a Washington first down. Well, that looked like an example of what you said back in the first half. A running back of his size can really wear down a defense. I think he's starting to do that.
I think you're exactly right. And know what else he's doing? He's inspiring the rest of his team because they see this starting to happen as well. So that means they're going to redouble their efforts to help him out. Extra blocking, getting downfield, helping him out.
Had a bit of a lane there, took advantage of it. Give him 7 there on the first down carry. A solid run on first down. Gain of 7 leaves him with a 2nd and 3.
Brings up 2nd and 3 at the 41-yard line.
So hail to the Redskins as they get the victory here. And I tell you what, Charles, this might be about as good as it gets. They were incredible.
Yeah, offense was in fine.